Part 3: Awakening Desires and Doubts. As the day drew to a close, with my guitar training, household chores, and cooking all completed, I lay in bed, my mind whirled, with thoughts of Ikayode and the sparks I felt during our encounter. Our conversation earlier had left me eager for more, and I found myself replaying every moment, every glance, and every touch. The electric spark I felt when hiding behind him still lingered, making my heart race and my cheeks flush. As I drifted into a restless sleep, my thoughts swirled with questions. Why had I felt such a strong connection with Fikayode? Why had I been so hesitant to indulge in my desires? And why had I never experienced such intensity with my boyfriend? The answers seemed to surface effortlessly. I reasoned with myself. Perhaps it's because I've never been fully ready for intimacy with my boyfriend when we met, and the distance in my current relationship has left me craving genuine connection. The truth echoed within me, illuminating the gaps in my existing relationship and the unspoken desires I'd been neglecting. But one thing was certain: my encounter with Fikayode had awakened a part of me that I couldn't ignore. As I surrendered to sleep, my mind whispered a haunting question: what if? As the days turned into a gentle rhythm, our conversations flowed effortlessly, a testament to the comfort we had found in each other's company. Fikayode would often ask about my boyfriend, and I would reassure him that he was still absorbed in his duties elsewhere. But Fikayo's curiosity lingered, wondering if my devotion to our friendship was somehow compensating for the distance in my relationship. I confessed that my partner's busy schedule as a youth corps member had left a void, and Fikayo's attentive listening had become a welcome solace. He wasn't surprised to hear this. He had already sensed the gaps in my relationship, and our connection had blossomed in the spaces between. As the days went by, the connection between us grew more vibrant, fostering an insatiable longing to be together again. I couldn't help but crave more of this tantalizing sensation, eager to see where the whirlwind journey would take me. Luckily, our mutual desire burned bright, and we both yearned to rekindle the spark that had ignited between us. During our conversation, he expressed his desire to see me again, and I could sense the eagerness in his voice. He invited me to visit him at his place, saying he longed to gaze into my eyes and connect on a deeper level. He mentioned an upcoming trip to another state, which would keep him away for 2 weeks or more. My heart skipped a beat as I pondered the possibility of not seeing him again before his departure. I couldn't shake off the feeling that this encounter was more than just a chance meeting. Without hesitation, I agreed to visit him, inquiring about his travel plans so I could prepare myself for our meeting. He replied that the dates were uncertain, but emphasized his enthusiasm in seeing me. I reassured him that I would keep him updated, allowing us to anticipate our next encounter. Part 4: The Kiss Unfinished. The day of our eagerly awaited reunion finally arrived, and I found myself standing in front of Fikayo's gate once again. My heart racing with anticipation. As I entered, he warmly welcomed me, his smile radiating a sense of comfort and familiarity. We settled into the living room, surrounded by the cozy warmth of his house, and our conversation flowed effortlessly as usual, like a gentle stream meandering through a serene landscape. When he asked about my hunger, I playfully demurred, sensing a flutter in my chest, as if my heart was performing a delicate ballet. Fikayo's curious gaze met mine, but I couldn't help but giggle at his confusion, the sound escaping my lips like a joyful melody. As we chatted, I distracted myself with a game on my phone, trying to maintain a sense of composure, but my fingers trembled slightly, betraying my excitement. Fikayo's gentle touch shattered my focus, sending shivers down my spine like a soft breeze rustling the leaves of a tree. I felt my body responding to his caress, our eyes meeting in a sparkling moment of mutual attraction. The air thick with tension. It teasingly reminded me of our light-hearted path to inspire my foodie stomach, and with a playful smile, I surrendered my phone, allowing him to explore the contours of my midsection, his fingers tracing the curves of my body, like a gentle artist painting a masterpiece. With a playful grin, Fikaude requested that I surrender my phone, his eyes sparkling with curiosity. I agreed, allowing him to gently place his hands on my stomach, his touch sending ripples of excitement through my body as he explored the contours of my midsection. He expressed his dissatisfaction with me sitting down, his voice laced with a hint of mischief. He coaxed me to stand up, his hands guiding me to rise from the couch, our bodies inching closer, with my feet planted firmly on the ground. He placed his hand on my stomach. His fingers played across my skin like a gentle caress. I felt a rush of sensations, my heart racing with anticipation as he tenderly examined my physique, his touch igniting a fire within me, which I couldn't resist, the urge to surrender to the moment with no hesitation. I wrapped my arms around him and initiated a passionate kiss, my lips longing for more. Fikao reciprocated with equal intensity, our lips dancing in perfect harmony. The world around us melted away as we lost ourselves in the fervor of our embrace. As our kisses deepened, he skillfully removed my shirt, his hands tracing the curves of my back and caressing my skin with gentle reverence. Swept up in the moment, he effortlessly lifted me into his arms and carried me to his room, where the intimacy of our connection could unfold without restraint. Just as our passion threatened to consume us, I whispered, "No sex," to Fikayode. He responded with a gentle, "Okay," and continued to romance with tender touches. Though he didn't explicitly promise to respect my boundaries, his actions spoke louder than words. He intuitively sensed my unspoken reasons for insisting on no sex and chose not to interrupt the moment with questions. Instead, he skillfully focused on making the experience pleasurable for me, his fingers weaving a trail of delight across my skin. Time stood still as we indulged in the passion of the moment, our connection deepening with every touch. I was lost in the haze of pleasure, unaware of when he skillfully removed my trousers, his hands tracing the curves of my body, from my breast to my toes. As he tenderly explored my skin, I felt his fingers grazing my pants line, and I suddenly snapped back to reality, reminding him once again, no sex. Fikayode reassured me, his voice dripping with romance. He said, I just want to make you feel to simulate the sensation of being one, but with my fingers, not my body. His touch sent shivers down my spine again. But as he sought to explore my intimacy, a flurry of questions flooded my mind, snapping me back to reality. I pondered, can I truly trust him? Is this too soon? Am I willing to give my virginity to someone other than my boyfriend? Will I betray my boyfriend's trust? My doubts and fears eclipsed the passion, and I firmly decided to halt the encounter. Fikayode, sensing my discomfort, pleaded with me to reconsider, but I stood firm in my resolve. He respectfully acknowledged my boundaries, prioritizing my comfort and consent over his own desires. In that moment, his self-control and respect for my autonomy shone brighter than any passion or attraction. We sat in silence for a moment, a tension between us palpable. Fikayode broke the silence, asking why I didn't want to take our intimacy further. He offered reassurance, promising gentleness if I was new to this. I hesitated, unsure of how to articulate my feelings. I confessed to feeling guilty, like I'd betray my boyfriend. Fikayode understood, respecting my boundaries. He did not pressure me, acknowledging my discomfort. I excused myself to freshen up, and he showed me to the bathroom. Afterward, I prepared to leave, sensing his disappointment. I asked him to escort me out, agreed, and he agreed, walking me to the bus stop. We parted ways. The unspoken understanding between us, a mix of respect and unfulfilled desire.